Well, hello everybody. So today's video will be a review of this Airfix MiG-17F Fresco, NATO code name, and this is in 1/72nd, which is not my speciality scale for aircraft, as I usually prefer 48th scale because I find it easier to paint and I like that there's more detail visible. But you know, this price at Hobbycraft, it was bought, so this price was not true, as there was a 3 for 2 deal for Airfix kits. So you know, I had to use that deal. But well, why should I waffle more if we can get right into the box then? So all the parts come in this bag, which I have taken them out of, as I've looked at them all already and well wanted to get into building them, building the kit, but thought that I might do a little video since I've been kind of silent for the past how much ever months. So well, that's that. Before we do anything, let's have a look at the instructions we have here. So all the stuff in here, information about the MiG-17, I don't know, can you read that? English, French, German, Spanish, and I have no idea actually. Well, I don't want to get anything wrong, so that language. Then specification, which is just like top speed, range, weapons, or is that armament, length and wingspan. So well, that's information about the aircraft itself. And as per usual with most aircraft, we start in the cockpit. And well, since the MiG-17 has that here, it's rather dark on the box, but here this little split in the in the intake at the front, then that allows the kit to have the split here at the front, and then you can put nose weight in here so that you ensure it is not a tail sitter, as you would not want that. And well, here we have the ejection seat, which is rather basic, but this is 72nd scale, and the kit does include seat belts. Yes, I think there are some subtle seat belts. We can look at that piece in a second. But yeah, we build up the ejection seat. There's a pilot figure included if you want to make the kit in flight. Then here we're starting with the exhaust nozzle. They give you the option for closed or open air brakes, which is always nice. I like my options of kits, or kits with options should I say. Then we get fuselage half, put the cockpit in, same with the exhaust nozzle. Then this clear part, which I actually have no idea what that is used for, so I'll have to see whenever. And if you have a stand, which is sold separately as it says here, you can drill out these holes and well then put it in flight. That's probably what this pilot figure is used for. Either way, we close this up then we put in is that where the weapons go? So well, as you know, as you can tell, I do not know much about this aircraft as I haven't done my research yet. But yep, this is where the cannons will go. Then here, the option of a drop tank. You drill out the holes. Here, what do we have here? Some parts you have to sand down if you're making it in flight, which well, we will obviously not make as I do not have a sand. Attaching the wings, attaching the wrist stabilizers, making the gears. Then other options for the gears down, which we will make. Then the armament here at the top. The air brakes closed or open. I'll probably make it open, as well, I just like aircraft with open air brakes for some reason. And then what do we have here? Attaching the canopy. Don't think they actually give you an option for an open canopy, but well, you can really easily do that since it's two separate parts. Attaching the last pitot tubes, I think these are. or antennas or whatever. And then, well, that option of those 2 drop tanks here. And looking at the instructions, I was really curious as to what this part is here. 'Cause I was thinking maybe it's like supposed to resemble a oil like fuel drum, but then again, this scale it looks rather big, and it goes at the back of the aircraft. So maybe I was thinking that if you don't have nose weight, they give this to you so that you can make the aircraft stand, but well, I'm not sure with that one. Moving on to the markings, this is the one that I'll be doing. Already spoiler, but this is a bare metal finish, I think. Oh no, yep, I don't want to be wrong about that. Silver, so bare metal finish. Egyptian Air Force 56. Yep, flown by, I don't want to mispronounce that name, in the #1 squadron of the Egyptian Air Force. And the other scheme might look more fascinating and interesting, as well it's an American MiG-17, or just Russian aircraft in American hands, which may seem more interesting as, you know, Cold War, whatever. But this scheme, I'm doing it for the African aviation, or is it, I can't remember the exact name, but it's aviation or aircraft in African use on the a group build on the r/modelmakers subreddit on Reddit. So, well, that's what I'll use while I'll do this scheme. So, now that we've looked at the instructions, let's move on to the parts. So, there's 3 grey sprues of plastic. Oh, okay, that's a part already gone off the sprue. Rather small sprue of clear parts, but then again, comes with 2 canopy options here, which I have no idea what the second one is used for. Probably a different version of the MiG-17. As well, here we have the F, and let me guess, there's all the A, B, C, D, E, Fs before that. So then we have stencils up here, which is, well, rather a lot for a 70-second aircraft. Then A, which is the Egyptian Air Force, which we will be doing. And then the US Air Force here with this red and the insignia, or round, we should rather say. Well, looking at the first sprue we have is this sprue A. This is sprue C actually, so we're looking from the back. Okay, sprue A. Yep, frame A it says up here. So this includes the 2 fuselage halves, the fuel drop tanks, this I have no idea what these parts are, and some other small parts. And ooh, as we see around here, there's some flash, which I don't know, can you see that rather clearly? Probably not. Here, so it shouldn't be an issue, as well, yeah, I can clean that up with a hobby blade or sanding stick or anything, but just thought I'd point that out. There's also some flash right here, which luckily does not interfere with that part. Either way, moving on to sprue B, we have, let me zoom out, we have the wings and the rear stabilizers, and this tiny pilot figure. Didn't realise how small that would be in 70 seconds. Let me get 35th figure here. And wow, that is a rather large size difference. Either way, here's that weird oil drum thing that I was talking about. Now looking at it, it might not actually be too big to be a 70-second oil drum, but I don't know, I just thought that that's weird and I'll have to point it out. As we can see on the fuselage, there's a rather firm attachment points for the wings here that go into here, so that's nice to have, you know, knowing that the wings will not break off. unlike some kits that I've done in the past, which, well, were rather a failure. Well, after a short miscalculation, as that SD card got filled up, yes, 32 gigabytes is not a lot when you're recording these videos. Here we have Sprue C, or, well, as Airfix call it, frame. So this is all the rather smaller parts. Here's the ejection seat, which, now let's look at it closer. Oops, that's zooming out. We cannot focus on it. Let me. Okay, now we have focus, and that does seem to be some seatbelt detail right here and here. Let's have a quick look at the pilot figure, who also seems to have some seatbelts on himself, so if you're doing it in flight, then you won't need to make any seatbelts for the pilot. Okay, so moving along the sprue, we have some like cannons, I think these are, or the pitot tubes, I have no idea. The closed air brake, open air brake, and that's the one part that we found snapped in the box. Some other smaller parts. This is probably for the landing gear. Exhaust nozzle, the cockpit with that intake that I said, the split intake. This is also part of that exhaust nozzle. Probably cockpit floor, looking at things. Gear legs, the gear themselves, and can you tell that on camera? The gear wheels do come already like pre-flattened, like as if weight was on them. I don't know, can you tell that really? But there on this side here, which is, well, a nice touch from Airfix, as you know, you always have to do that yourself since not much companies have that. So yeah, that's about that sprue and all the sprue done. Now let's take a look at the last sprue that is here. So well, that would be a lie that all the sprues are done. The clear sprue. Oh god. Oh. So the clear sprue. Are these parts clear? Yeah, well, crystal clear, I could say. And they are not foggy at all, so that's good. And as I said, these two different, oh yes, I can see the difference now. This one's smooth here, and this one has a bump, as you can see. There's some lights here, probably, maybe, I have no idea, but yeah, the clear parts are to good quality. And well, that would be around it with this kit. What can I say? As I said, this would be built very soon for the group build on r/modelmakers on Reddit. So if you're part of that subreddit, or you're just on Reddit in general, or maybe you just want a group build to be part of, then well, go ahead, and at the top of the subreddit there's a special post there about this group build that I will be taking part in, along with a couple other people. So, you know, just give the op of that post a heads up if you want to join in. But overall, returning to this kit, I'm rather excited. You know, the box, I forgot to mention it, but just typical Airfix scheme here. One flying hour, if that matters to anyone. 2 skill level, all the things they recommend, but I don't use Humbrol products, so yeah. Same box art, all the warnings, whatever, yeah, and the same box art. So as I said, really excited to build this kit, as I have not built a 72nd aircraft in, well, some time now. So yeah, that would be about it for this video, and well, if you enjoyed, I don't normally ask for this, but well, like and subscribe, as we have not had a video in a long while, and I'm keen to release one this week actually, as I've got like 2 ready, so I might get on to work with that right after this video. So well, as I said, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.